Danielle, this is frightening stuff, that this was a random attack inside of a shopping mall. What more do we know?
Well, we know that this morning the young offender that is accused in this case, that is in custody, will be in Regina Court later this morning at 9:30. And we know that from witnesses, unconfirmed reports at the scene that I spoke to this morning, Jackie, that she was in one of the shops outside the, just outside the scene, and she said she was pulling in other staff members that were in the kiosk just outside the scene to pull them safe. She also told me, and these are unconfirmed reports, Jackie, she also told me this morning that she spoke to witnesses around the scene that watched the gentleman. She watched the gentleman walk through the doors and, as you said, randomly started stabbing people. And she also witnessed the police officer on the scene rip off the bandana off the young offender who is accused in this case. And the people around her told her that this was a suspected gang initiation. And of course, we haven't followed up with Regina Police to confirm those details, but that is what a witness is telling us this morning.
Frightening stuff, Danielle. So what's happening at the mall today?
So right now the mall is open, and it's and people have been coming and going, staff and people coming and going. So it's business as usual this morning, and the scene is cleaned up, as you know. And we have been trying to contact the mall officials this morning with no luck because they're not in yet.
All right, Danielle DeGrau in Regina. Thanks so much, Danielle.
Everybody knows your famous son, and we also know what he's famous for, advocating for Parkinson's research. You know, in 1991 he was diagnosed, but it wasn't until 1998 that it was actually made public. So talk about that decision and what that was like.
Well, at the time, you know, he was filming his show, Spin City, and it was just very, very difficult for him to do the segments because they did them live. And if he was having one of his bad spells, they would have to break. And the audience was there, and they made all kinds of excuses of why they were breaking. It was a camera problem, or it was lighting problems. And this was just eating at him, and so he finally had to decide to disclose his problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And no, as a mother, the year before, your husband had passed away, and then a year later, your son calls you up and says, "Mom, I have Parkinson's."
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I felt like the earth had given way on me. I just, but in all truthfulness, I really didn't understand the implications of what he was in for the rest of his life. I guess I just drew a blank, but because I was thinking this was an old man's disease, and he was only 30 years old. It just couldn't be happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't mind, you can stay here and finish the conversation with us on why you're here in Regina.
Thank you.
How fast do you have to go?
We got to get this on in like 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
Yeah, pull 'em up.
Seriously? These pants are not exactly, you have to kind of wiggle in them.
You got to try and beat Jeff here. He's beating you.
Yeah, right. I don't think
Over
that's
the
gonna
shoulder, balaclava on.
This is kind of like getting your kids ready for kindergarten in the morning.
That's what it feels like for me.
A little bit, because I need help. I can't get it.
Get your arm in there. Okay, you got to zip.
Okay, seriously, how do you do this so fast?
Zip it up.
Seriously, do you tell that to everybody and point to their midsection and tell them to zip it up? I can't do it. Look, this is it. I can't. I can't have it. I can't get up here. Growing up, did you ever want another profession, or did you always know basketball was your thing?
I kind of knew at a young age, I knew I wanted to play basketball, whether I played professional, coach, you know, running camps, motivational speaking about it. I just knew at an early age that's what I wanted to do, and I'm actually living the dream right now.
So then, do you have any advice for these kids out here?
I've been I showed them a couple of my tricks. I see some of these kids trying in the back. And I got some more tricks up my sleeve I want to show them, but they're having a good time.
Good. So you said you want to be a speaker. You could throw to break. You could throw back to studio if you want.
Well, I don't know your guy's name. We can go back to the studio, but this is Scooter Christensen from the world famous Harlem Globetrotters. We're having fun right here, and it's all good.
Nice.